Hi, it's Rook. Just quickly going over the PTB update that we're gonna try this afternoon. Today's the 19th, so yeah, sorry, I'm half a day late. I was tired. Um, the changes introduced in this PTB seem really nice. And first of all, is the anti-face camping. Now, I've seen so many people saying like, yes, but face camping is not an issue, blah blah blah. Well, face camping is not an issue after like some months of playing Survivor for sure. But I remember when I started playing Survivor, and literally every killer face camped every match because they didn't know how to play. So this is gonna teach new killer very quickly that face camping is not a good idea. Now on matches for more experienced players, we need to understand, of course, how far you need to be for this measure not to take place. Because I can assure you that on some maps, I can proxy camp the hook from 20 meters and there's nothing you can do. Every map that has a bottleneck, Azure resting place, um, Sappho pit, I can just, patrol the middle if I have one or two survivors hooked on one side and go luck and hooking them. Or if I'm Huntress, I can camp from the literal other side of the map, even if most Huntresses are only good enough to patrol like from a hill or something. So it's still not gonna solve some issues that are dependent on map design or killer design. That's probably gonna be really good for beginners, and I can't wait to try this out this afternoon. Skull Merchant, I don't own Skull Merchant. I've never played Skull Merchant, maybe once in RPTB, but I played against a lot of Skull Merchants and I very rarely had a good time. Um, Either they are trigening so hard that yes, I maybe we could break the trigen, but it's just so boring. It's just so boring. Or anti-chase is very leave the loop. But I would argue that a lot of characters have a leave the loop anti-chase, like Dredge, like Artists, and they can be fun anyway. So maybe this changes that, of which I don't really fully understand the practical implications. Maybe they're gonna make her super super fun, and they're also touching her chase music, which, if it's a banger, it could be a reason for me to play her, even if I really don't like her fast character design. Like, I'm sorry for whoever designed this, but bro. Okay. Shutter Square, probably one of my most hated maps. Because every time I play the Survivor, it spawns every dead zone in the world, and every time I play this killer, it spawns every pallet in the game. So they are updating it and making, first of all, collision a little bit more clear. So we don't know if the collision is gonna be better, which is gonna be a pain if it's not in my blind games. But at least it's gonna be pretty clear. So I see this and I think I could bump on this. Let's hope I can. And the obstacles are also gonna be a little bit taller, so that I cannot be spotted as Ghostface from the opposite corner of the map, and I cannot spot survivors on the opposite corner of the map as any killer, basically, except for Sadako. Sadako is just the shortest obstacles in this map, um, which is very cool. Navigation has been made easier, um, but I think only in the way where you can understand which obstacles are obstacles and which ones are ramps, which sometimes is pretty hard to understand. It was hard to understand for me on the actual square, like the gallows. But very good change, very good change. Let's hope so. And it's also been made smaller. My prayers have been listened to. So yeah, great, amazing. Maybe I won't cry anymore when the survivors bring me on board. Now, the Macmillan Estate, I've seen so many people be perplexed about this change. So basically, Macmillan Estate, which is one of the most loved realms in the game, not by me, but you do you, is gonna receive alternate versions. Where basically the same elements will spawn, but in different positions. So I don't know, maybe you can have I don't know, like a groaning storehouse where the storehouse is not in the like 3/4 of the map. Maybe it's in a corner or is in the exact middle. Cool. I've seen so many people saying that this is unnecessary, but let me tell you a thing. So, I've been playing this game for over a year now, and I have recently decided that I don't want to like bring windows of opportunity every game because I know the maps at this point, and if I bring like any means, I can also vaguely understand where the chases are, so remember the dead zones and everything. And there is like my biggest enemy in this is the two new maps, the Nostromo Breakage and Double Ending, because they spawn new tiles. And you can apply this reasoning where seasoned players are lost or a little bit more lost in chaining tiles to the layouts of so many maps. Because if I've been playing for example, since 2016, which I've not, but let's assume, I will know pretty much every layout of Sappho Pit, every possible middle. I will know how to chain tiles perfectly with the perfect pathing because I know the tiles, I know the map, I know the collision, and this is probably gonna just mix things up, even for veteran players, even on the oldest maps, which is good. Which is good. It's always good to be challenged in what you already know and what has been in a certain way up until now, and then I'm sure it's gonna give like new good players some more chance against a very seasoned players that you get matched against anyway. So good change. Perks. Okay. Furtive Chase. This perk is like the testament to how behavior ignores some perks just as much as the players ignore them. So Furtive Chase does a very stupid thing that makes no sense, which is it decreases your terror radius in chase. And it has to be gained too, which is useless because even if the killer is chasing me a stinker, like I don't care. Like I know that they're chasing me. Like I'm looking, bro. So they can have a 1 meter terror radius at 45 meters terror radius. It doesn't matter. They're chasing me. I can literally see them. They are in front of me. So unless like you remove the red stain completely, okay, that can happen in mind games, but otherwise, this does nothing. So now every token reduces your terror radius to 5 meters. Okay, good job. Then what? Oh my god, in chase, of course. Background player is gonna give you 1 more second of speed boost. It's great. This perk I think is really fun. I don't have it because I don't have the skill merchant DLC, but I think if you bring this kind of exhaustion perks that work for the team, you should be rewarded. Killer tweaks. Oh, finally, the trapper is gonna receive basically one of his add-on, the coffee beans, a little bit more than base kit. So I opened the page here so you can see. So what it does, coffee grounds, is gonna give you 5% haste for 5 seconds after setting a bird trap, and now it will have base kit a 7.5 haste effect, basically making coffee grounds a nice add-on, but not necessary. I think it was pretty necessary before, which is great. I think this change is really nice. And also 8 bird traps will spawn on the map instead of 6. Now I don't think this makes any add-on basket because the add-on, uh, gives you 1 more bird trap for you. But I'll be honest, okay, this is gonna change a little because I very often actually find myself being on a map, like gathering bird traps, and just two, like exactly two, are on the opposite side, and then we'll never fetch them. So maybe this time it would be, just 3 on that side, but 1 more on my side. Nice. It would be maybe better though behavior if trappers spawned like with all the traps in the middle or with all the traps in its possession. Maybe it would have been. It would have made Trapper stronger than Nurse. Like I can assure you that. Also, one thing that I like to say is that you can make most of Trapper add-ons base kit. Not all of them for sure. Like don't make like any any of these base kit, please. But you can make Trapper Gloves base kit. You could absolutely make well, B-roll maybe not. You can make wax brick biscuit, absolutely. You can make hemorrhage biscuit. You can make not this no. You can make trapper bag biscuit, absolutely. You can make this biscuit, making so trapper traps blend with the colors of the map. Just not darkens. Just you're on Eerie, they're more yellow. You are on Shadow Square, they're more red. Blah blah blah. Yeah, but it's okay. They made basically 1 add-on and 1 wish biscuit. It's fine. Hunters and Trickster now are gonna reload a little bit quicker, making Iron Maiden not necessary, but still nice. Okay, cool. I don't play any of those two. Slinger, this was so weird. I had to look up numbers. So basically, they are making partial of the Warden Keys add-on base kit. What the Warden Keys does is this: it reduces the reload time by 0.5 seconds. Okay, so they are making him reload now in 2.6 seconds instead of the default 2.75. So basically 0.9 seconds less. Now there is an add-on, this one, that reduces the reload time by 0.25 seconds that they could have made Basket and just reworked this into something else. Instead of making partial of the Warden Keys Basket, but then if you bring Warden Keys, you have the same reload time as Warden Keys pre-buff, blah blah blah. Like, okay, this was unnecessary and strange. And then they increase the movement speed bonus while aiming downside for both the aiming downside movement speed bonus add-ons, which are probably one of the useless add-ons I've ever seen in my life on any killer, but sure. You could make this movement speed like 5%, like if no one would bring them anyway. And finally, Tataru managed to gaslight behavior into buffing BFFs to 6%, which I cannot wait to try this afternoon against my poor friends. This are all my comments on the PTB PTB launch, and let's hope I have some nice feedback this afternoon or tomorrow. Have a good day.